Mercury's received a bigger share of new car sales than ever before, and they all add up to one big reason. People, we find, are switching to Mercury because no other car gives them as much for their money or gives them such good value. And here's more evidence of Mercury's provable value in this report. It's the 19th Annual Independent Automotive Survey. Now, the figures show in this survey that more people voted Mercury the number one value over 10 other cars in its class. That's right. More people voted Mercury the best value for the money in its class. And remember, Mercury value is provable value. And yes, we can prove it. First, for a lower price, you get more solid car value. And second, a terrific deal. A trade-in allowance will probably cover your down payment, and that means your cash outlay for our 1956 Mercury is less. Lots less. Now, the low Mercury price buys you all these extras. Now, just look at that beauty. We call it Big M Beauty, with exclusive optional photon colors, conventional two-tones, and solid colors, too. And now, watch this reflex action performance. They tested and retested to make sure that you get all the Big M snap acceleration and power. Big power for climbing any hill. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is ball joint suspension that keeps you riding smoothly while the wheels take the bounce. Now, you've seen the beauty in the Big M's performance, and now Mercury's Safety First design, which gives you more safety features than any car in its class. Now, believe me, that big Mercury gives you so much at such a low price. And now, as Mercury owners will tell you, this car will continue to save you money with its low operating cost. And then there's Mercury's well-known higher resale value. So important when you trade in your Mercury. Now, all of which proves that Mercury is definitely the number one value in its field. There's the low price and the better deal on your present car. There's Big M beauty, performance, and safety. There's the low operating cost and the higher resale value. So now is a particularly good time to cash in on that low price and Mercury's provable value. So you go into your Mercury dealer this week, sure. See and buy the big 56 Mercury. People still like to know from out of town how, in the name of heavens, to get tickets for any of these hit shows in New York. Well, in the case of Pipe Dream, which is playing at the Schubert Theater in New York, you were out of town or planning a trip to New York. As I've told you before, all you have to do, make up your mind when you're coming on to New York, then make your check out or a money order, send it to the box office of Pipe Dream, the Schubert Theater in New York, tell them what date you want tickets for, and then when you come out of New York, the tickets are waiting for you. Now, oftentimes you come to New York, you know, on the spur of a moment. So then if you come to New York, just go right to the box office, because oftentimes, like going to a World Series, you'll find that on the day of the game you can get the best seats in town because people don't think they're there. So that's the way it's done. You know, I think that we all realize how important quick reflexes are to an athlete. Now, here's pro basketball star Bob Cousy wearing number 14. And now when they set this play up, you watch Bob's reflex action. Here it is. Cousy takes the ball, stops, and there he goes, and there goes the ball into the basket. You see, in basketball, it's all stop and go, so quick reflexes make all the difference. But it's almost the same with the stop-and-go driving you do every day. So much depends on quick reflexes, both your own and the reflexes of the car you drive. Now, I'm going to show you the tremendous performance of this car, both for acceleration or go, and braking or stop. Now, I've watched our engineers check Mercury's go power with precision instruments like this fifth wheel, which is attached to a special, exactly accurate speedometer inside the car. And in test after test, I've seen them clock the Big M at some pretty hot acceleration figures, from 0 to 60 miles an hour in under 11 seconds. Now, here's the same performance on the open road. Out, around, and safely back into line. Yes, when your foot says go, the Big M really goes. But what about when you have to stop? Well, I'd like you to look at just a few of the ways that Mercury engineers make sure that you'll have quick, sure stops. First, there are the brake tests they do out at the test track. Our test drivers really give these cars the gun. They open them up to top speed, and then when they're really flying, they put on the brakes. And always, the Big M comes through with smooth, easy stops. And next, for a really tough test, they take the Big M up the side of a steep mountain. And then from the top of the mountain, watch that car travel. Now here is the signal to stop. Our test driver touches the brake, and there's another straight, smooth stop. And even though you'll never stop your car like a Mercury test driver, in emergencies, it's awfully good to know that Mercury has plenty of reserve. You can count on your Mercury to stop quickly and safely whenever you need it. Reflex action performance, to go or to stop. Just another reason why you just can't get better value than our Mercury value. So why don't you out there see your Mercury dealer this week and make your big move to our Big M. But just at the moment here, I'm recalling that, talking about Patty Page the other day, I saw her and I was standing in a Mercury dealer's showroom. A man walked in and said he had never been west of the Mississippi. He said, never been west of the Mississippi in my life, but when it comes to buying a new car, he said, I'm always from Missouri. He wants to be shown. Well, he wants to see and actually feel the highly praised performance of a Mercury, and he's right. Because when it comes to really knowing how much car you'll get for your money, believe me, there's no substitute for getting behind that wheel yourself. Here's something you must experience to appreciate. An acceleration test photographed by a motion picture camera mounted on the front of a Mercury. And it shows some of the reserve power you can expect to feel when you take a demonstration drive in a Mercury. Mercury's overhead valve V8 engine puts 161 horsepower at your command. And still another feature your dealer wants to show you is that revolutionary new Mercury development, ball joint front wheel suspension. Something no other car in Mercury's field can offer you. It makes cornering and steering far easier. Gives you a far greater feeling of steadiness and safety. And there's only one way you'll find out how wonderfully easy driving can be with ball joint suspension, and that is to get behind the wheel yourself. And as for beauty, well, black and white pictures just hint at the styling that makes Mercury so distinctive. Until you see them, you can't imagine the brilliant new colors that are available on this year's Mercury. And the new fabrics, many of which are found in no other car in America, regardless of price. Now, for a real thrill when you go to your Mercury dealers, here's a very special car you want to be sure to see. Look, you can actually see right through the roof. This is Mercury's dream car come true, the new Mercury Sun Valley. Well, no matter what Mercury model appeals to you most, the smart thing to do is to be from Missouri for a half hour or so. Let your Mercury dealer show you what a tremendous performer this Mercury is. Let him prove that you can drive away in a brand new Mercury of your own for a lot less than you think.